Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News. Ashely I gave an update to the Aaron Clancy interview that she did last week. We know Aaron Clancy was sort of caught by reality Steve having a couple women he was seeing before he went on Bachelor in Paradise. He was called out, exposed, and he sort of wrote it off and shared his side. Well, Genevieve Parisi shared her side also. So I'm going to share several clips, but the interesting part is what Ashely said on this episode of Almost Famous Podcast, where she called out Aaron and basically said, I didn't believe anything he had to say. We talked to the other ladies, and she just doesn't believe him. He tried to explain his way out of it, is what Ashely said. So I'm going to catch you up and share that one piece of, that 1 minute or so, which was very interesting, and I think a lot of people are going to glaze over this or not hear it, so I wanted to bring it to you guys. So I've got that for you right here, but first I want to play what Genevieve said, then what Aaron said, and then what Ashely has to say about it all afterwards. So, of course, if you haven't been following this story, this should catch you guys up. So here's Genevieve.
So, Genevieve,
I was just sad. I just didn't know what to do.
You fell in love with Aaron.
Yeah.
But you weren't communicating well.
I think you can fall in love with the wrong person, for sure.
do you think it was love or lust?
It's hard looking back to believe that I was in love, to be honest.
Do you have any regrets, like any specific moments that you wish you could redo?
A lot. I don't think I handled everything with Justin right at all. I wish I could do that over. With Aaron, I wish I left the second time. There was a gut feeling and I should have listened to it. We weren't right for each other. I think the way that he spoke to me, condescending and like angry, like he would yell at me, like raise his voice multiple times. He promised me it wouldn't happen again. I'm putting myself back there and I'm getting like frustrated again. Aaron always thought he knew what was in my head. Every time I said, you don't know what I'm thinking, he would say, yes, I do know what you're thinking. How would you know that?
Well, it sounds like he definitely dismissed you at times like this, but you also had a tendency to like pack your bags real quick. Are you somebody that normally tries to flee during fights or when it gets hard?
We never really had serious conversations. It makes sense now. Like it didn't make sense then, but it does now.
The golden age of podcasting, folks. They've got these beautiful trailers they put together. As Kel John says, the music, absolutely so funny. So let's go. Let's play another clip, and then I'm going to share Aaron's side.
Your actual breakup was truly bizarre.
I was silent. I was so blindsided.
Okay, but here's the deal. When they broke up, she didn't know that there were other women involved. Now, you're allowed to date other people before going on the show. The problem would be if you went on the show just to string someone along for the paycheck, because they are getting paid the longer they stay on Bachelor in Paradise. There is an incentive to stay, which can add to the drama, because then you have the collateral damage. So anyway, Reality Steve exposes the DMs from the two different women, but on Aaron's defense, one of those women may still be with Aaron. So those DMs could have been taken out of context, or more could have been revealed. And what we have to do is give people as much of a benefit of the doubt as we can, that there's always more to the story. So here's Aaron sharing his side of the story.
There's always three versions of the truth. There's my truth, there's your truth, and then there's the truth. Our goal is just to hear your story.
All the people bombarding me via social media, like, I know, okay? And I was wrong. I don't react the best sometimes. My behavior can be up and down, but I'm always honest. So I'll tell you what you want to hear.
When you come out and you hear that you've had girls back at home, and then you kind of have this up and down, not so fun relationship with Genevieve, it looks to an outsider as if maybe you were hanging around just to the very last day so that you could get as much screen time as possible. And
do you still consider yourself quick-tempered? Is it something that is a weakness of yours?
The sad turned to mad really quick. I was bottling it up. I just needed to be able to communicate in a more healthy way and not bottle up my emotions. I mean, it was on me. Like whenever I get like upset too, I can be kind of condescending. I can be a
So why did it take so long for you to make that decision to split?
I had never thought about it that way. Not even until you just said that right now.
And of course, the comments are just brutal. The comments being, "No one believes you, bro. So full of stuff. I can't tell if the interview was itchy or painful, because they're both the same. Why would he list girl A and girl B's name to producers if girl B was a friend for 4 years? Confused what he's explaining." Yeah, he kind of explains that in his defense, he said, "Look, I told the producers about these women that I had previously dated, just so like they knew like they existed." And of course, it wasn't that he previously dated them. It's that he was kind of going back to them and they caught him in a lie. That was the whole sort of dilemma. We'll never get down to the truth, and that's fine. Maybe he learned from it and learned from, maybe trying to two-time people, or maybe he thought that he had communicated that they were just friends with benefits when they were actually more. Of course, the women, or at least one of the women, had said, "No, I knew that we were more." Of course, we saw this play out with the Nate story earlier this year, where he had a girlfriend who he was taking to weddings and on family vacations, and the girlfriend never even knew he had a daughter, and that was its own scandal, because just the idea that a lot of people thought, well, then he was using his daughter to come off a certain way in the show. So it really just comes down to the audience wants to feel authenticity with people and not feel duped. But how can the audience not feel duped when Jen Parisi feels duped, So anyway, here's what Ashely had to say regarding this scenario, and you can hear Justin Glaze, who is friends with Aaron, kind of say, "Hey, I'm not going to get into it." All right, here
I don't think that they are very in charge of the selection.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think
that's Andrew Spencer.
Like cast producers
have to think about a lot of things that we don't really take into account. You know what I mean? They're looking at so much other stuff that I probably don't even know analytically that we're not even like taking into account. So I give them the benefit of the doubt because they have been doing this for a long time. And they work in the business, so it's so easy for us to be like, "Oh yeah, this guy should be this guy this." So I can't really tell off the jump. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they were looking at. I just know, just on a person basis of knowing people, Rodney is just an exceptional human being. And I think that would have been just great to watch because he's just such a good dude.
Yeah, but I don't want to take it away from you guys too, because you would have been really, really super good. Especially you could talk. You're like, "I want a wholesome girl, and I want my fairy tale rom com." Like
comes.
That is a leading man right there. We should have given you your rom com on ABC. Okay, but Paradise. So you decide to go, Justin. Why did you decide to go a year removed?
Yeah, so they started calling me again this year, and I was actually seeing somebody. So I was like, yeah. So I was
So
like,
here's how it ties in, because Justin was seeing somebody before Paradise.
I think it's gonna be a no again for me, guys.
How serious was it?
Probably like 6 months in.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah. So wait, maybe 5 months in.
Look, you're being honest, unlike Aaron.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Ashely's calling people out. Oh boy, her stock is on the rise as a podcaster.
Aaron was on the podcast and tried to explain his way out of it, and we're like,
were you just sitting there like?
I was like, yeah, I was like, okay, and then make sense of this for me, and then it makes sense for this, and he kept talking, talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
He gets real quiet with the gentleman here.
He definitely.
So do you know you believe?
I didn't hear what Andrew said. Let's listen one more time.
And then
Andrew's off mic.
Then make sense of this for me, and then it makes sense for this, and he kept talking, talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. He means well. He definitely.
Oh, Andrew says he means well.
So do you know?
And I think he does too. I think he means well. I think there's collateral damage that went down here. A lot of people mean well. People do things that aren't good, but they mean well. I guess you look at patterns over time. If multiple people say, "Oh, I did the same thing," or he hasn't learned his lesson, then audience can feel a certain way.
Oh, you believe the girls, obviously, and Genevieve in this situation.
I plead the fifth. I don't know. I'm such a big Aaron fan.
He's so fun to hang out with.
Yeah. He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's
So
a good
I mean,
dude.
I don't.
And you can be a good person and then also have like blind spots where like you might not have treated people well. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means, there's elements that you can improve on in your life.
No, you don't know. I mean, you got to ask the girls. Not Genevieve, but the actual person. might have been with.
We may have had some sort.
Andrew goes, you got to ask the other women what they think. And Ashley's like, we did. And they completely disagreed with everything Aaron said.
Sources.
Oh, really? Well, then I can't
But
deny it.
anyway, I didn't get into that with him, and we're just teasing it right now. Okay, but Justin, so you were
so
dating.
these parallel conversations are great, right? Because they're talking about something completely different. Then Ashley goes, "Oh yeah, Aaron lied," and then they just barrel through it. It's just a 1 minute clip, but to our audience, we go, "Oh my gosh, this is a storyline that keeps giving." And speaking of storylines that keep giving, we're gonna have so much more to share with you guys. There was one thing I wanted to share here. Ashley was found. This husband said, found Ashley in one of my wife's teen heartthrob magazines from 2001. Remember these teen magazines? Celeb Insider, Blast, Superfan, Ashley Iaconetti of Great Falls, Virginia. Did I pronounce that right? Knows how to celebrate her favorite stars. Can you guess who her favorite group is? And as we look in here, we have Justin Timberlake, pretty much a whole wall of Justin Timberlake. So we have Winnie the Pooh, a lot of Justin Timberlake. Actually, it's all in sync. That's all she has. Well, there it is, folks. No Backstreet Boys in her life, just the old JT. But I think we can all relate. She's got the denim on there. We can't see what's on her shirt, but I'm sure that's also Justin Timberlake. It kind of adds up. She's a fangirl through and through, and I think that's what we love most about Ashley I. But either way, she calls out Aaron and says, "I didn't buy it," and then even Aaron's friends say we plead the fifth. All right, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Bachelor Rush Hours, the afternoon podcast. It'll tie it all together. We'll put a link in the comment section. And if you want, you can also check out my road trip little video there where my wife and I just drove from North Carolina to South Carolina. We took half an hour to talk to you guys and answer some questions and share some behind-the-scenes content. So you can go check that out at patreon.com/Dave Neal. All right, well, that's it for me. Unless there's any other giant breaking news, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.